Just think about it. You're sitting watching Mania, and this fucking music hits. I might run laps around the house.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be there. So,
might run laps around the stadium.
I don't think I'll be able to move. You know, the whole stadium is packed with people. It's gonna blow the roof off.
You'll never see my fat ass move so fast. Let me tell you.
I bet. Oh my God.
So, I think we should start with the Hardys. Vince, of course, I'll let you do the intro, but I think we should start with the Hardys because there's quite a bit to talk about.
It's so interesting.
And yeah, a lot of very interesting stuff going on. So, Vince, I'll turn it to you, and then we'll get into it.
All right. Well, first and foremost, thank you for joining us on the War Report, brought to you by TagMeADate.com, the first and only dating site for wrestling fans. Find your tag team match, your tag team partner. Send Kat a message, ask if you want to wrestle, like someone did a couple weeks ago. But you can see I'm not in my usual studio space, aka my bedroom, because I don't have my laptop with me. I'm currently kind of staying in between here and a hotel because there's some water damage in my kitchen. So this is my living room, and I'm broadcasting off of a new iPhone. So I'm hoping I don't lose too much in translation here. There won't be a little light show or anything behind us because I don't have that capability in here. Although, trust me, I've thought about putting the smart light bulbs in that change shit around, but I just haven't had the time. So this is my memorabilia, some of my TV memorabilia, and then up thing. If I can get, you know what, I got to stand up for this, but it's worth it. This over here is my, I had an artist draw that.
That's awesome.
Some Wyatt family masks and a Royal Rumble poster. So that's some of my wrestling memorabilia as well. My living room, and welcome to my little space. It's for sale, by the way. So if anybody wants it, talk to me. If you're looking for a condo in West Hartford. But we have lots to talk about. Rebby Sky Hardy. I've known her since the day she met Matt Hardy. Literally, she met Matt Hardy backstage at a Northeast Wrestling show in Poughkeepsie, and that was it. From there, they had talked on Twitter beforehand, but that was the first time they ever met, and then it was meant to be, I suppose. So she's also she's kind of a fire plug, man. She's a little she's got a fucking spark to her. So to that point, whatever's happened between the Hardys and TNA, she said that she wants to take the TNA tag titles and melt them down into jewelry. So that's a very, very spicy way of handling things, I think, earrings or a necklace. But as far as we know, the Hardys are done with TNA and are potentially on their way to WWE. We have enough time where if they have a non-compete, they can be on TV a week before WrestleMania, or they can show up at WrestleMania. They, as long as the deal was done within a certain time frame, I think we're within it. So I'll kind of open the floor up here. I don't know who wants to take the.
Well, I'll kind of jump in because one of the most interesting. I mean, listen. In my opinion, do I think Matt specifically can make more money on the indie scene instead of going back to WWE? I think so. He has more control of his bookings. He's got Maxwell. He's got another baby on the way. You know, TNA was a good option because he had a lot of downtime. Obviously, come back to the WWE, you're going to be on the road a lot more. Even if you're part-time, you're still going to be on the road more than you are now. So are there a lot of things for Matt to consider? Sure. If there was ever a time for the Hardys to come back and fulfill their spot in the Hall of Fame, I believe the time is now. The most interesting part of this whole thing to me is now TNA is claiming that they own the rights to the Broken Hardy gimmick. I can't imagine that TNA was ever smart enough to put that in the contract. And I'm sure if and when Matt fights it, he would win. But I wanted to hear the thoughts on the table.
Man,
I think that would just delay the Hardys from going to WWE or making the transition smooth.
Yeah, I think as far as TNA goes, it's not a matter of whether or not they were smart enough to put it in there. It's I trust Matt and Jeff and the fact that they've been in the business for so long that they wouldn't just let that go. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think, a concern of Matt's obviously in WWE is giving up a lot of the creative control. But I think if they treat Matt and Jeff the way they're treating Bray Wyatt, the way they're treating the New Day, where these guys are writing their own stuff and then they're showing it to management and getting it approved, I can tell you as far as Bray and the New Day, pretty much anything and everything that they put together, they get the okay. And they've been brilliant at it. And I think if they offer Matt the same kind of leeway, that should alleviate the problem, unless they agree to it and then consistently deny it. You know what I mean?
Right, because if they kept this thing, it would be best just to let them continue it to be the how do they put it, the best tag team in time and space.
Right.
They also could do the whole the indie scene broke them.
Right, they could still do that. Just let them. I would say that if WWE wanted to set a precedent and make things unique, hire the Hardys on the fact that you'll use them on TV for pay-per-views and maybe once a month or twice a month for Raw to hype pay-per-view, but allow them to work their independent dates. Excuse me.
Which, to be honest with you, I think Vince would allow it. I mean, he lets a lot of them do it now.
He used to. He actually back in the day, up until about 2007, you could book WWE guys on an independent show through the front office of WWE. You couldn't get like huge names, but you could get like Simon Dean or Tommy Dreamer or whatever. You know what I mean? So you could get like a mid-card guy, but you could get him. And then at one point they cracked down on that because it was a way for the mid-card guys to make some extra scratch on the side. But for whatever reason, they discontinued that program. So I think where you're at a point.
Now, there's another question that actually comes into play.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if when we get Matt and everybody and Broken Matt and everything in there, do we finally get a Sister Abigail when they go against Wyatt's?
Rebby versus Sister Abigail. I like that.
Well, now listen, just because they're going to bring Matt and Jeff doesn't mean they're going to invite Rebby, and she is very pregnant. True. So, she's going to be behind the scenes.
Rebby's got so much heat with the WWE. I don't even know if they'll let her backstage. Like, I hate to say it out loud, blow up her spot like that, but damn.
It's very true, though. She's a little hot. She acts on it, and she's made quite a lot of enemies there. So, that's very questionable. And listen, I don't want to change the subject, but I do have to quickly just let you guys know that according to kayfabenews.com, McMahon vows to build a wall around the Spanish announce table.
That's we got to make sure Hugo Savinovich doesn't go anywhere.
I thought that was fucking awesome.
Of course, we can invade their table and break it, but they can't escape it.
That Spanish table is very well protected now. The German table gets it a lot.
I do want to ask you guys, though, on this whole Hardy deal, right? How fucking stupid is TNA? I mean, I think about it, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, there's really only one true reason that people really tune in to Impact every week, and that's to see what Matt and Jeff are going to say and do next.
For real.
It's a plus, and that's not to take anything away from a guy like EC3 or Bobby Lashley or Drew Galloway, who's another one that they lost, who is an outstanding talent. I think Jarrett, TNA is going to be no more. I can't see them lasting now without those three big players. I sure as
Steve, we have this conversation every 9 months.
Yeah,
it's true. and it's like the nugget that doesn't flush and go away. I think it's time to get Roto-Rooter and flush it down the fucking pipes.
TNA's been going out of business for the last 15 years that I've been watching the program.
It's so true. Yeah. But now, I mean, you, and from what I understand, Jeff is now back in control, Jeff Jarrett. Right. And he does not like Matt Hardy, and he's letting his personal.
Well, he also wants to do. Here's what I'm hearing. The rumor is there's a potential that Anthem wants to use the GFW name instead of TNA because they feel like TNA is a tainted name. As in GFW is not a tainted name. GFW is associated with a fucking Cash for Gold, JEFFGOLD. You got yourself some Jeff Gold, with an autographed picture. So I think that's a little controversial in itself. But anyway, Jeff, the perception that we're getting, according to reports, insider information, whatever you want to call it, leaks. It could be made up. It's on the internet. Who the fucking knows? But the point of the matter is they're speculating that Jeff Jarrett's idea and the reason they bring in Dutch Mantel, Zeb Coulter, as the head of creative now is that they want to present a more realistic approach to wrestling. They want to do it more documentary style. They want to treat it like an athletic competition between two rivals to determine who is the better competitor, which sounds like dog shit.
Sounds like dog shit to me.
It sounds like what Ring of Honor has been doing for the past 16 years and done nothing with because nobody wants to watch that shit. Like, it's fun for like Ring of Honor to me is like Chinese food. I enjoy it while it's going on, and afterward I want to go and watch other wrestling because I need to be like they're kind of like fast food meals. They kick out. Like it's the same kind of false finish thing. I don't want to preach on Ring of Honor right now, but that's Ring of Honor's in trouble too. Have you heard this shit?
No, God.
First of all, fucking everybody's leaving. Dijak left. Keith Lee left.
Dijak really did leave. I didn't know if that was a work or
no, he's done. A little birdie told me that a few of the big men from Northeast Wrestling, and I'll let you guess which 3 big men I'm talking about, will be getting tryouts with the WWE.
All right, let's stop right there. Let me take a shot.
Sure.
Well, obviously Dijak is one.
Yes, claro. See.
I'm gonna say Warbeard.
See, ding ding, 2 for 2.
And I'm gonna say Taven.
Nice. Well, the other big. I meant big.
Oh, you mean like big guy, not in size.
Right. And I think he already he had his but I think he's gonna have an actual tryout match now.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I mean he's due. All right, so
we in Florida, but
well, are you? Wait, the third person's Wrecking Ball? Because that I knew already because he was in the Performance Center.
Yeah, he was at the Performance Center. So those are the 3. It's his is kind of old news at this point, but the other 2 that were kept under wraps pretty much were those other guys. So
Warbeard, I kind of figured because Warbeard has really made a name for himself, and Dijak as well. I mean, listen, Vince has always had a hard-on for guys the size of Dijak and guys that are Dijak size and as agile because Dijak can move.
That's the thing, I think.
Right. Agreed. Warbeard, he's just an animal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Wrecking Ball, I fucking love the guy. I mean, he's just the greatest guy.
And I think it's a mistake, like not a mistake, but because that sounds like I'm questioning people's decisions. But Wrecking Ball, the guy, Spencer, is real talk, has a master's in social work, and is the best person with children you would ever want to meet. Like, Kat, you've never met the guy. If you met him, you would want to take your 3 kids and let him babysit. Like, you would trust him instantly. There is something about
No, it's so true.
There's a connection that Wrecking Ball has with kids that no matter what happens, because he's a heel all the time. The kids love him because he's just, I don't know, there's something about him where they're attracted to him. He's kind of like a teddy bear. He's not, so I'm hoping that they don't try and just make him the generic mean, growly guy. Like,
well, that's happening. I mean, that's
what they do with the big guys anyway. But I'm saying if they wanted to, they could make him like, I don't want to say like the Junkyard Dog, because I'm not saying he's going to be the goddamn Junkyard Dog, guys. It's a Hall of Famer, but You remember how the Junkyard Dog had like Thump and he did the thing and the kids all danced with him and shit? Like,
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing that he's that guy. He's not Kane, you know?
Right.
That's the point about Spencer, I think. So
I'm rooting for all three to end up in NXT. I mean, you know, I'm a huge fan of them all, and Warbeard too. I mean, Warbeard is not the most inviting looking guy, but he's another one. He's just a real stand-up nice guy. I've had the honor of working at least 10 different shows with Warbeard, you know, where we've had tables and we've hung out, you know, everybody, and you know, and same with Wrecking Ball and Dijak. I mean, Dijak's another one. He's just a real nice guy. Like they all deserve it.
Everybody is real cool, which is great. Those and here's the thing. The most experienced is Warbeard, and then it's Dijak, and then it's Spencer, Wrecking Ball. So,
well, Spencer's only he's 24, right? He's young.
And Dijak's not much older than him. I think he's 26.
Yeah, that's about
Warbeard's probably the oldest, but that's right. You can just turn mine down. But if you find the remote, we can never find the damn remote in this house. Don't worry about it. But Warbeard's got the experience thing by he's I think you want to see he's 13 years in.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah, so I think he could be one of those guys, kind of like like Samoa Joe. He went around the Indies for 10 years, and then it was one of those things where he finally settled in, and they recognized his talent and all that. I'm hoping that's kind of the thing that they do for Warbeard, because if you saw him before the beard, and then you realize that he developed this whole thing kind of from scratch, growing the beard, he developed the character, not just grew a beard, he developed a whole character around it. It's interesting to see, because he came from being handsome Johnny with long hair, just the long hair, and completely clean shaven. You
know what else too, though? He created an outstanding gimmick. He does it well, and he's another one for his size.
Yeah,
boy, can he fucking move.
And fly out of the ring and all that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He'll fly out of the ring. He'll do shit off the top rope. Like, Warbeard's no joke. And for his size, and the gimmick just works. He's got the face for it. Like, he just the whole deal is just great. I'm happy as fuck. I hope all three make it. It'll be exciting to see what they do on the indie scene.
Absolutely. But the part of the matter of what we were discussing before that is, Dijak left. Here's the situation with Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor wants to lock these guys down in exclusive contracts where they get to dictate what other independent bookings they make. Which kind of sounds shitty to me.
It is shitty. Because then it's like these guys have a loyalty to Lombardi. What if they turn around and say, no, we don't want you working Northeast Wrestling? Like that's
exactly. And here's the thing that kicked it off for these guys. For Keith Lee and for Dijak, they go, Ring of Honor goes, we want to sign you these contracts, but you can't work beyond wrestling in Providence. At all.
Do they give you a reason, or do they just say, we don't want you working there, that's it?
Well, I mean, it's implied that they see them as competition. Or at least, on the same level or close to them. Because Beyond Wrestling does get a lot of recognition kind of amongst indie people. It's very highly regarded. It's kind of a unique thing where they usually rent out a dance hall, and then they don't get chairs, and they don't have barricades, so everybody just stands around the ring, and
that's cool.
It's almost like a mosh pit. It's very unique. So,
what about Chaotic Wrestling? Because that's huge up there too.
Chaotic Wrestling is big, but they didn't say anything about that. The weird thing was they picked out Beyond of all these promotions, which Keith Lee has worked with consistently over the past couple years, and Dijak's from Worcester. He's been working Beyond Wrestling since it was going out of, I think they were in Brian Fury's school on a Thursday night, and they would tape it and put it on YouTube. So, he's been there since that. You're not going to – you can't deny the guy is basically his home federation.
You know what, though? I'm proud of Dijak for making the right decision. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, your goal is not to end up in Ring of Honor. Sure, it's great. Don't get me wrong. Right. But your goal in this business is to make it to the WWE. That's the mother hen. That's where you want to be. So
back in the day, you almost needed to go to Ring of Honor or something to get that recognition. Now,
right, and look at them now.
out there, you don't need to go to Ring of Honor.
Right, and now look at them now. They're looking at guys like Northeast Wrestling. They're looking at guys like Chaotic, and they're looking at guys, all these guys. I mean, listen, where do you think Sasha came from? You know what I'm saying? Born and raised up that way with Sherman and all them. You know, it's great to see that now you don't have to say, God, I hope they make it to Ring of Honor so that WWE notices them, or WCW or ECW, because those were really the, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, the way they're getting their talent, and now with NXT, you know, a place to bring them, to get them ready for the way WWE does their product and get them ready for a Raw or SmackDown. It just gives them so many more options, and they're doing a good job. They're listening. That's the thing. Now they're listening. As much as they hate the fans talking everything and rumors and making everything up and knowing so much about the business, but the truth of the matter is they're listening, because people want to see guys like Samoa Joe. They want to see guys like Bobby Roode. They want to see these TNA guys that they were never going to bring, and now look at them now. You know what I mean? Bobby Roode is fucking glorious, you know? Which, by the way, speaking of which, did you guys see that there was a video on Facebook where I forget the guy, but he was like in a sneaker store, and he started videoing. He's like, no joke, I'm in a random sneaker store, and this is playing over the speaker, and it was Bobby Roode's music. It was fucking awesome.
That Marks group comes up with some good shit sometimes.
Was it? Yeah, I think it was Marks. But yeah, so you know, it's great to see that they're listening and they're looking outside of just Ring of Honor, because it gives somebody like Dijak to say, you know what, fine, fuck you. I'm not going to forget where I came from. That's what that says to me.
Yeah, and I've never worked Beyond, but I know most of the guys that work there. So, and they're all that type of. They're from the area. They're either from Rhode Island or from, you know, Eastern Mass, the Cape area, whatever. They live in the area, and they built it up. It was like PWG out in California. That was like Frankie Kazarian and a couple guys got together, started it from scratch, and now it's the biggest indie on the West Coast. And it has been for years. So. You know, I respect that decision. I hope he does. You know, I hope he does.
So
well.
now, did Warbeard and
I don't think they've had them yet.
Well, no. Did they refuse to sign these new contracts? Like we know Dijak did, but
yeah, Warbeard. I think whatever deal he signed probably hasn't come up yet, because I haven't heard any rumblings about him. But Dijak is, and I knew this kind of not early, but like earlier than most people. Done. You know what I mean? Like I knew he was done with Ring of Honor at one point, just like a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Which is, you know, it's unfortunate that's happening, because here's the scuttlebutt is that this guy Hunter, who is Delirious, I guess him and they have a certain vision of what they want, and they're very particular about it.
Listen, in all honesty, if you really think about it, they're not doing anything differently than the WWE does. If you look at it from that standpoint,
at this point, yeah,
you know what I mean? But it's close. So if you look at it from that standpoint, you kind of can understand it, but they also have to understand that they're loyal and they're going to do what they feel is right, and that's not turn their backs on who made them who they are today. You know?
I feel like Ring of Honor thinks they're bigger than they are, maybe. Is that a fair thing to say? Like,
I think that's a very fair thing to say.
WWE?
I think it's a very fair thing to say, because I got to be honest, when people talk about wrestling competition, I feel like I hear this more than the other. I hear WWE Ring of Honor more than I hear WWE TNA. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And those are really...
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah, and so it's good that they have some name recognition, but they are, you know, even if you want to give them number 2, they're number 2. So you kind of have to, especially because of the way Ring of Honor started. as an independent promotion, and now I know it has a network backing it. But its roots were an independent promotion, and I think they need to respect that. I think they need to acknowledge that the guys that they're pulling in, the reason Ring of Honor knows to book these guys is that they had success at other independent shows.
Right.
So why deprive those fans of that experience? Add that person's experience to your experience in addition to those shows.
The only answer that makes sense to me in this whole thing is that they feel like if they ever want to be a true competition to WWE ever, then this is a move they have to make, because they want their talent to be seen on their show and their show only. And why should somebody else make money on seeing them? That's ultimately where it's coming from. And I mean, I guess from a business standpoint, I get it, but I'm proud of those guys for not doing it. I mean, that's just, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, there are certain guys that they locked down. They locked down Matt Taven. They locked down Adam Cole.
They locked down the Briscoe brothers.
The Briscoes, the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks have a special deal that they can work Japan, but, you know, they're locked down here. It's weird.
Yeah, the last time Northeast Wrestling was able to get their hands on the Bucks was last year at the one of the summer shows, one of the stadium shows. That was it. Yeah, that was it. Actually, it was the one in Dutchess, I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
and that was a hell of a match.
That was a great match, and there are another two. They're fucking awesome guys. We got to hang out with them for a little bit because we were up there. Remember, before they even let the crowd in, and they were all there chilling. So we had a good 20-minute conversation with them. Good guys.
It's nice to know they're not as douchey as the characters they play on television.
No, but you can totally tell that they can be.
Yeah, I'm sure if you rub them the wrong way, they could get real bad on you. But...
Hey, so listen, we're about halfway through, and I got to talk a little bit about Raw with you guys because I'm hearing another strong rumor, and I don't know how much of a rumor this is or if it's something that's really being considered, but I'm hearing not only is this a possibility, but it's happening before Mania, that Shinsuke is going to be joining Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens. I've also heard a rumor that they may decide to put him on SmackDown and have him face AJ at Mania rather than Shane McMahon. So there's two rumors going around. What do you guys think would be the better?
Fucking AJ, man.
Yeah, I put him on SmackDown.
For fuck's sake.
Well, here's my thing. I think for match purposes, AJ Shinsuke one-on-one at Mania would probably steal the show.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not so sure I'm against the idea of the King of Strong Style joining the NXT New Evolution stable.
But he's not a heel. That guy is not. Just look at him. They love him.
But you know what? He has the look where he can be heel.
I mean, I guess, a majority
but you know what, though? You make a valid point. Would they want to lose some of the merch sales because he's one of the top merch sellers right now? Would they want to lose that and possibly knock his momentum by turning him heel so soon? So you have a valid point because he is a face and the fans love him. But I think they would love him. Listen, they turned AJ Styles heel and the crowd still fucking pops for him every time he comes out.
Right.
I could see it being the same for Shinsuke also.
Yeah, but I mean...
Could you get those grand entrances with the violins and everything if he's playing a heel?
Absolutely. You had Bray Wyatt as a heel, have the whole... Vince, you were there for that. So, yeah, I mean, they could look at Triple H last year. His entrance was fucking awesome with Stephanie.
The heels get the big entrances sometimes because
so they can make that work.
They could, but I don't know, man. I just feel like that's a missed opportunity to bring up. I feel like there's not a lot of good baby faces.
I agree.
Right now.
I agree, but I will say this: either way, it is a win-win for the fans. Because either way, Shinsuke is coming to the main roster, and that's exciting in itself. So whatever they do, I'm going to be happy with it. But but you're right. It is a missed opportunity if they don't do it. What was that, Kat?
I don't see I don't see him even as a heel that affecting his merchandise at all, though, because of just how much he's loved. Like you said, I don't think it would even play into an issue that people are still going to want to buy his merchandise because he's just that fucking awesome.
You know what? I happen to agree with you there too.
Where does Finn Balor fit in?
The dude's money.
I'd rather not see AJ Styles wasted with a Shane McMahon, though.
Well, now that's not fair either, because I mean, one thing I will say about Shane McMahon.
Oh shit! Nothing
against Shane. Any WrestleMania match that guy's involved in is fucking gold. Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, well, that was.
I mean, it'd be a good match, but you know, I know what you mean. You want him to work a worker.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it definitely would be a missed opportunity for sure if it's not AJ Styles. I'm with you 100%. But I also don't want to take anything away from Shane because even though he's not the best wrestler, he puts on a hell of a show. You know what I mean?
I wasn't taking anything away from Shane. It's just Shane can elevate someone else, but AJ Styles you can put him with the Nakamura and actually steal the show.
Well, you're 100% right.
Like, the thing is, we have to suspend a little bit of disbelief that these fucking trained professionals can have to sell a punch from Shane McMahon.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, they have to take ass whooping from Shane for a little while, and sometimes it's like, come on, man,
like the Undertaker,
like Randy Orton had to do.
Yeah, my favorite Randy Orton match is that fucking Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Match. Oh
yes.
Good God. But anyway,
as far as I'm concerned, Orton's got too many for me to even put a number on one because
I think this year, if they go triple threat with what's his tips there,
Harper and Wyatt.
Yeah, I think that could be in his top.
I'm hearing that some of the higher ups are still hesitant of giving Harper this spot, which I don't understand because I think he's phenomenal.
Oh, he'd be great for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this guy wrestle in front of 400 people and fucking bleed like a stuck pig and do all other kinds of crazy shit. And that was in front of 500 people. He's willing to do, you know, some crazy shit. So he would, in front of a larger audience, if given the opportunity. I'm not saying he can take a weed whacker to the face or anything, but if you give him the opportunity, I think this guy, you know, he has all the tools.
Oh, 100%.
I'm sure he would take a weed whacker to the face for that many people.
You know what? He seems crazy enough that he probably fucking would. So another thing, if you guys noticed during Raw this week, they have really started to push the envelope and the indication that this is the start of Foley's exit. Yeah. And from everything I am hearing, and I believe I shared this with you guys earlier, even though it looked like his face was cropped, that the Monday Night Raw after Mania, Angle makes his official TV return as the new general manager of Raw. And I can't tell you how fucking excited I am because we're going to get him in the ring too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to have slow building stories with him and eventually it's going to culminate. I think we're going to see Angle wrestle some pay-per-views. I even think he's got another Mania match in him next year.
Absolutely, I think so.
But I think the main goal is he'll be general manager. And to me, that means we get to see Kurt every fucking week. And I think it's going to be awesome. I'm very excited. Kurt Angle.
I'm excited.
You think he can get cleared to wrestle?
Well, I got to be honest. I think he's clean as hell. I think he can get cleared medically, physically, all around. I think he looks to be in the best shape of his entire career. I mean, listen, I'm no doctor, but I think they're going to do everything they possibly can to make sure they clear this guy because you can't bring him back to TV every week and not give us a match ever. You know what I mean?
Right.
And from what I'm understanding, he's got some matches, not just one left in him. And I think Angle's going to be around for a while. And it's just great for everybody involved. I mean,
well, he's definitely got at least one more match in him because he's wrestling on Friday in Waterbury.
Yes.
It's him versus
good
Cody,
segue, right?
Great segue.
That was well done.
So, not to cheap plug anybody, bang bang, but live in Waterbury, Cody Rhodes, Kurt Angle
Wow.
in a cage.
That's all I have to say is wow.
This is going to be the craziest show we have ever done because we've got the cage match between Angle and Cody Rhodes. We've got the Great Khali. We've got Ryback.
Ryback versus Wrecking Ball, right?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. We've got the fucking
That's going to be crazy.
We've got the Kingdom. We got all these motherfuckers. Marty Jannetty's going to be there.
I am so pissed I am so pissed that it's in Waterbury. Because by the time I get out of work Saturday, I'm never going to make it.
Ugh.
It sucks because I would give anything to be at that one.
I would kill to be there, but
yeah, what's that?
You know, I only get to kill so many people.
Say that again.
Cat, you cut out.
Score me some love for Marty.
All right.
Score me some love for Marty Jannetty, please.
I will. Oh, yeah.
I love him.
For sure.
But so we got.
I cried when his head went through the barbershop. No joke.
The infamous barbershop.
I sat there and bawled my eyes out. Like, no.
That was one of the greatest heel turns.
I can tell you exactly.
It was a great.
I can tell you exactly where I was when that happened. Like it was yesterday.
Like it was 9/11? What are you talking about, dude?
Dude, to me as a kid, it was. To me as a kid, it was almost like 9/11. I stared at the TV in shock. I didn't know what to do. I was in Florida at my grandmother's house watching on this little itty bitty fucking TV, watching Shawn Michaels say, "Is there something wrong with the Rockers?" and slice the magazine in half and say, "I don't think so." It wound up being the greatest thing ever. But you know, I was fucking devastated as a kid.
Best episode of The Barbershop, also.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. Hey, so listen,
I really remembered.
I need a little help. So, and this is not because I felt Raw was bad. I actually enjoyed all of Raw last night, but this has been one hell of a last few days, and I passed out at 10:15. So I did not get to see Strowman, and I didn't get to see the match I wanted to see, which was Joe and Cesaro.
Yeah,
did anyone?
Somebody filled me in because I ended up going back to the hotel that I was staying at, and instead of staying in my room, I sat in the hot tub and drank beer. I felt comfortable.
That sounds like a better idea.
See, I was very comfortable with that decision.
If I had those two options, I'd go with that one.
So did anyone watch those matches?
I watched it in the morning. I watched before classes. I watched Raw.
All right. So how was the Strowman contract signing?
It was typical Roman Reigns shit. I hate to say it. They made Reigns in.
The whole thing that happened with the turnbuckle pad, though, Ryan.
What's that?
The turnbuckle pad came off. The turnbuckle pad came off the ring.
Yeah, but
it was a work. It was a total work, but
it looked good.
It did look good.
It did.
But like he kind of hooked him. Like he grabbed him by the back of the neck and just kind of like threw him into the fucking corner, and it basically like exploded off the turnbuckle. It was pretty neat. I'm
just kind of disappointed because I know Reigns is gonna pick up the W at Fastlane.
Yeah, I think Braun Strowman. I hope he gets like the Undertaker match or something big for WrestleMania. I don't know.
He's probably getting the Andre the Battle.
Yeah, I was gonna say like what they should do something with Braun at Mania.
I'm actually, if in terms of the Andre, I'm hearing that Hogan's return and he's going to be in the Battle Royal, which means he's going to win it.
Wow.
You know what we're not getting? Shaq versus Big Show.
Why? What's going on with that?
I didn't. Shaq is fat.
Shaq is big.
Shaq backed out.
According to Shaq, he did not back out.
He's been posting it on Twitter for the last 3 days. He ain't doing it.
Ugh. Well, listen. I didn't buy my WrestleMania ticket on the promise of Shaq versus the Big Show.
No, but you know what though? Look at what Show has done
Big Show got ready for
The
this match.
shape
Big
he got
Show-
back into. It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
You know
He looks better than he's ever looked in his entire career. The guy's got a fucking six-pack, which I never thought I'd live to see the day. And
Yeah,
a lot of that was because he was getting ready for this match. So now what do you do with Show? You can't put him in the Andre Battle Royal because he won this shit already.
I have an idea. Hear me out here. Maybe you guys we can get on social media and make this happen. The Big Show versus Kevin Hart.
That would be
He's friends with The Rock.
hilarious.
He could do it.
That's true.
Or if we're gonna try and tie in with The Rock, because The Rock's gonna be there promoting some movie. Big Show versus Zac Efron.
Oh my God, yes.
See, there we go. It would get all the girls to tune in, and all
They
the guys
gotta-
to watch, hoping that Zac Efron dies, and it would just be a great moment for everybody.
Can we make it Justin
Comes
Bieber
out as
then?
Yeah, I was going to say Justin Bieber.
Yes.
Oh, that
Big
would
Show
be
comes
great.
out as Captain Insano and wins the.
I don't know.
Adam Sandler
I
comes
just
out dressed like the Water Boy.
I just think that Big Show really deserves to have something at Mania. You
Yeah.
know, the work he's put in and all that. I mean, he's definitely added time to his career. Assuming
his
he
life.
wants it anyway. Well, and his life too. So, you know, I hope they do the right thing. But now what happened with Cesaro Samoa Joe? Like, was it incredible as it should be, or what's the deal?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a great match.
It was a good match, but it wasn't that long.
You
Yeah,
can't
it
give
was
away
a little,
too
it was
much
a little
for.
shorter than you'd expect.
Did Joe just like squash Cesaro, or was it
Pretty much.
Yeah.
they had him squash Cesaro?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, it was an under 5-minute match. It wasn't anything like to write home about or whatever. He pretty much just
Well,
took him
no,
out.
but when I say squash, like, you know, Cesaro didn't really have any offensive attack on him at all.
Not really.
Wow.
Not really.
Now, what the fuck does that do to Cesaro? It's not like they push his
Probably
ass.
not much. Yeah.
It's proving that they're
Cesaro
still
needs
not
to do
pushing him.
theme
Is what
music,
they're doing.
period.
Oh, by the
Cesaro
way,
gets
somebody-
going for him, but he's got shitty ass music.
Somebody just posted on Facebook, it's time to get the band back together. Drew Galloway left TNA, and it's a picture of Heath Slater and
Gender.
and Jinder Mahal.
Don't hit the gender.
3MB, baby.
You know what?
We're the 3-man
What
band.
did he do?
Chris,
Did-
three-man band, they come back, but Rusev turns out to be a really big fan and follows him around like Tank Abbott used to follow
The
around
group.
Recount.
Oh, that was such a horrible storyline in WCW.
Dancing Cesaro. Did you
Tank
remember
Abbott
Dancing
thing with
Rusev?
the
I am
count?
3-man band.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Tank Abbott deal
I
was
think
fucking-
Rusev could pull it off a little bit better.
He had that little circular thing that he'd stand on and dance.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he brought his
As
own
they get
circle.
the 3-man band, then they need 3 legends to totally squash them at WrestleMania.
Oh God. Yeah, they would have to find 3 people to squash the 3-man band. But actually, that's a very good point that they bring up about Galloway, because Galloway has signed some kind of deal with ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling, which is a UK promotion.
Really?
And funny enough, ICW just signed a distribution deal with WWE, where ICW shows will be broadcast on the WWE network.
Ooh.
I
Well, some of their
believe-
guys were in the UK tournament.
Exactly. So I think the idea is that UK title will be defended on ICW shows occasionally, and Tyler Bate and all those guys will still get to work in the UK for UK audiences, but also be WWE roster members.
Hoping
That's
for
pretty
Wolf
cool.
Dog.
Yeah. So, and imagine that means Drew Galloway doesn't have to be exclusive to ICW because he's appearing on the WWE network. I'm sure it's just, some fucking paperwork, and you've got him on NXT, Raw, whatever, SmackDown, wherever you want him.
It's like you were saying, Vince. WWE is becoming the new territory system.
I had this idea about 10 years ago, and I thought I was a fucking genius, like nobody had ever thought of it before. But I was like, man, if only I wrote out like a business plan and submitted it to him, maybe I'd get a job. But
I still have an idea for
just
the
open up
network
little-
I'd kill to see.
My idea was they open up an NXT, or an FCW at the time in
Yeah.
like every region, And then what they could do is, because they own the licenses to most of their old regional names, is like Texas could be called World Class Championship Wrestling, and then you could make the one in Minnesota the AWA. You know, you could have the old territories back and call them that, but they would be like WWE feeder systems.
You could do a Mid-South. Yeah, all that.
Right, exactly.
AWA.
Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, I think it would be wonderful. Glorious. But
wonderful.
But they've managed it. They've managed to turn this around, because WWE was notoriously stingy about letting people work indie dates and appear outside of WWE and all that. And it seems now they're more willing to work with other promotions, because, like TNA, they used to treat them straight up like, fuck these guys. And maybe the only time I ever remember WWE really working with Ring of Honor initially was when Matt Hardy got fired and then came back and jumped the barricade and attacked Edge, and then grabbed the microphone and says, I'm with ROH. I'm with ROH. And then he worked like a couple ROH shows and then got rehired by Vince McMahon.
I remember that.
But they never really did that. There was not a track record of them in the last 10 or so years doing stuff like that. And now they're more, prone to doing, or more accepting of that idea, which is great. It only helps them.
So Autumn,
what's up, Autumn?
Autumn just said that she has the opponents for the three-man band going down to her squash. She goes Maven, Maven, Maven.
Well, Autumn brings up a good point.
Where's her cloning technology? I need to know this. How is your child coming up with the...
Autumn brings up a very good point, because if you want to meet the first ever Tough Enough winner and cast member of the Surreal Life Season 6, you can go to the big event in New York. What was it, this Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday, the LaGuardia Plaza.
BigEventNY.com for tickets.
Yeah, and Maven will be at the Tag Me a Date table, and he'll be signing autographs, taking pictures for a small fee. So it's a good opportunity to come out and meet the first ever Tough Enough winner, and soon to be somewhat of a regular on the War Report, and just an all-around great guy. In fact, he told me just the other day that I might be the guy that gets him watching wrestling again. In fact, he might be coming over for WrestleMania, so we'll see. So
how about that?
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
wow.
Talk about...
I'm sorry, Cash Me Outside. How about that?
How about that? So, yeah, Maven has become a good friend, and so he'll be on the podcast again. He'll be helping out Tag Me a Date. We'll be helping him out. It's going to be great. So come check him out, meet him. Great guy, and get a picture, and sign up for TagMeADate.com while we're there. And since we're doing some shout outs too, I just want to mention Helena Forum, buddies of mine, fans of Tag Me a Date. They brought back their podcast, which is on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube and just type in Helena Forum. They talk about, same stuff we do. Great group of guys. I'm actually going to try and have them on one night because they have some great insight that I think we can go back and forth with. And also, Charlie didn't get to make it, unfortunately, tonight, but they did start their own YouTube channel for Modern Vintage Wrestling. So you get to see all their shows now on YouTube. They've uploaded all of their shows. You just go to the search bar, type MVWTV, and you can see all the Modern Vintage Wrestling talent, all Gimmicktree. You get to see Charlie in action. You get to see Tommy Dreamer, and of course all the great talent over at Modern Vintage Wrestling. So
commentary by Matt Stryker too.
Oh, Matt Stryker, without any producer or any kind of censorship. Oh man, his commentary is if you're like, it's a little inside baseball, but if you're like me, you really appreciate some of the shit that he says.
He's incredible.
I always loved his commentary.
Jerry Lawler hated it. But because he's kind of, Stryker's a nerd, I get it. But he said something in a match. Oh, he called the girl Brown Sugar, and I was hoping to God that was her ring name. Just called the girl Brown Sugar on Smackdown. I think things went poorly for him. But I think me and him, if we ever got on commentary for one of Charlie's shows, we'd probably get thrown off of YouTube, but it would be fun. So I guess maybe we can bring this bit to the air. I gotta know, Steve, how mad is Stacy that I asked if her 20-year-old sister was single?
Oh, she thought it was hilarious.
Oh, okay.
And she actually texted her.
Ah, yeah.
And listen, she's a college girl, and she is happy to be single right now and enjoy college, and she's all the way in Pittsburgh.
Old man Logan's got one more bone claw in him. Don't you worry about me, bro.
She's in LeBar country, and
she's in for Eric. Eric, take your ride.
But you never know. Time, we'll see. But right now, she's enjoying college. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Eric, or rather Ryan, we got to do a thing. I think we're gonna do a new thing. We're gonna do a reality show on YouTube, the Tag Me a Date reality show, and we're gonna find a girl for Ryan. I want to do it.
Well,
Hey,
Ryan,
I need one too, buddy.
Well, Ryan, you are on the site, correct?
I think you're muted.
You're muted, my friend.
You're muted, but he looks happy. Okay. Oh no, you're not. He wasn't.
No, he wasn't. We just can't hear you. We still can't hear you.
Can't hear him.
He's panicking. He's panicking.
Season 2 will be Eric.
Yeah, okay, I'll be season 2. That's fine.
That would be wonderful because they could each be like, "Oh, Ryan left the call." But it could just be like 3 or 4 episodes. Maybe we go across, Tag Me a Date. We find a couple girls that match. See if
hey,
we can
listen. There's no reason why you shouldn't be on it. We know it's working because even somebody wants to wrestle with Kat. So
that's right.
It is working.
Even somebody wants to wrestle with me.
Well, you do acknowledge in your profile that you're married, right? Like I think your husband's in your picture with you.
No, he's not in my picture with me. I'm just sitting there. I get my wedding band's on, but that's it. I did not put a picture of Justin on there at all. And then all of a sudden, I get this PM from somebody.
They should know that they're in for a triple threat match, if anything.
Yeah, I just get this PM like, "Hey, you're cute. Do you want to wrestle?" I was like, "Oh my god."
TagMeADate.com.
That is the worst con ever.
Handicap match? What are you doing?
How about now?
Ryan, there you go.
Can we hear?
Here we go.
Yay!
So now back to you.
Yes.
What were you saying? Because we couldn't.
Oh, I was saying you could exploit the hell out of any future relationship if I find it on Tag Me Date.
Let me tell you something.
Commercials,
I'll make
reality shows.
You find your future tag team soulmate on TagMeADate.com. The first date is on Tag Me a Date. All on us, fully paid, my friend.
We'll do the date. You're in PA, so we'd have to do it. We'll find a promotion to see, and maybe they will want to kick in a little PZ to sponsor this deal. The winning girl, the lucky lady, you guys, your first date will be dinner and then a wrestling show. Again, we'll find a sponsor, we'll find a show, a promotion that's running a show that night. We will coordinate it. Let's make this happen. This sounds.
And why is that, Vince? Because if you find somebody on TagMeADate.com, you're finding somebody that loves wrestling as much as you do. It's perfect.
And up next, we're going to show you the Showtime.
Perfect.
See, now I know.
Let's make this happen.
I'm glad somebody got the Ron Popeil joke in there. I had to throw it in. The pocket fisherman.
Now I wish I was fucking single again.
I'm logging in right now. How about that?
Hey, Ryan,
how about that?
Ryan,
Catch Ryan outside.
You find some potential ladies, and then in a non-creepy way, ask them if they want to be in some YouTube videos.
How about being on the YouTubes? How about that?
And then you know what? Here we go. And then if it's a success, he finds somebody, the first date happens. That Tuesday, they both come on live on the War Report and take us through the entire night step by step.
That's right. It'll be like that show with Roger Live.
Yes.
Be like
wrestling love connection.
The Married at First Date and just exploit the hell out of them.
And if any producers are listening and they want to come out with TagMeADate.com, the reality show, holla at your boy because I'm ready to listen. Just
There
saying.
we go. So if we start small, you never know. Speaking of Married at First Sight, your buddy from that show traveled over to London with Flip.
Yeah, he was with Flip.
I think he won a tag title. I want to say he won some kind of title.
He definitely won some title because he was
And
definitely
then
rocking it.
Flip won the British title, but then they decided that because he couldn't be in Britain to defend the title regularly as the British champion, they stripped him of the British championship and made a world championship so he can defend the title both in the United States and in Britain when he flies back once a month to defend the title.
That's awesome.
So, and it's great. And he's also going to Mexico soon.
I'll tell you right now, Flip's another one. Keep your eyes on him. He's going to be big time. He's
that guy's
fantastic.
gonna be a fucking star.
Yep, 100%. He is fantastic.
God, I gotta save his life in a car accident.
Ryan, are you seriously looking up chicks right now?
Might.
Ryan hasn't talked for a solid 5 minutes. He's looking.
He brought the idea up. I'm like, let's take a look at this thing.
Eric, you look too. Whoever we can produce these simultaneously. I don't give a fuck. But I thought you had Sweet Brown Sugar too, man. You had this nice. You brought a girl to a couple wrestling shows. You're down with the swirl. What happened to her?
I got a funny story. I think I told you off air. We took a picture with Teddy Long. Teddy tells me, "Hey man, I see what you're doing. Black of the berry, the sweet of the juice."
That's fucking great.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my!
And I did. While I'm bringing that up, I have to say, Buff Bagwell was one of the coolest people I've ever met.
Well, he is buff and the stuff, and the girls just can't get enough.
That's true.
He was on that Gigolo show.
Yeah. Wasn't he doing porn at one point?
I think he was an escort.
Yes, he was, and it was a great video.
Oh.
All right.
Oh,
It was a
Now I
very
know
good video.
Moving on.
Way better than China than Sean Waltman.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, that was horrible.
China I never wanted to see.
China looked like she had it.
She's got a very she had a very big yeah.
China.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
All right, we should probably. I mean, does anybody have any final comments before we head into SmackDown? We're all dirty people, and we should be ashamed of ourselves. But
we're all horrible people, and we should be ashamed.
The newest member of the Hall of Fame, Miss Beth Phoenix.
Yeah,
which is great. I see people are saying online it's a little too soon, and there are other women they could have gone with, which is very true. But none of the other ones are married to Edge, so I mean, she's getting in before everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, you know what though? It's not that she's not deserving though. Yes, it's early, but it's not like she didn't.
Yeah, she definitely deserves.
She put in her time.
Yeah, there's no timeline for this, you know.
Right, it's not like the MLB where they say you have to wait 5 years and then whatever. Because it's not a traditional Hall of Fame in that sense.
And let's be honest, it's the real life Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club anyway. Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, because Bruno was.
It's whoever's on good terms with Vince at the time, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think Beth is very deserving. And
wouldn't it feel kind of exploitive if they put China in immediately after her death?
Yeah, but
like they did with Eddie.
Yeah.
Well, that was a different circumstance.
Eddie is Eddie.
The whole Rey Mysterio storyline was exploitive of Eddie.
Yeah.
That was tasteless.
But there's someone suddenly dying, and then there's China where you kind of blacklisted her until she died.
Right. That would be a different.
Exactly.
I'd say maybe wait till around Mania 34 and then do China.
But what about like Victoria or Molly Holly
or
Ivory or Jazz or Jacqueline? Is Jacqueline in?
No, I don't believe
Jacqueline's in, yeah.
Yeah, I love Jacqueline.
My bad.
Yeah, she got inducted by the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, big old ass. Oh my god.
Jackie got a big old
Holly should get it eventually.
So I'm leaving you. Says LL Cool J.
All right, guys. Well, SmackDown is about to get started.
Yes.
Yep, that crappy show's ending. I have a What the hell?
Still with us there? Yeah,
Yeah, I have no idea what started playing.
Oh, okay.
I honestly was kind of confused there. I have my TV on mute. My phone's on the home screen.
It was a ghost.
It's a spook.
You know you
Hey, you
one
can't
night
say,
in China.
you can't say spook. Spook's not a word you can say anymore. It's not the 1920s.
Or an episode of Scooby Doo.
Hey, I was going for the Scooby-Doo reference. Come on.
I got it. You can send your letters to Tag Me a Date, courtesy of Steve. Never mind.
Thank you for that.
Put the subject Scooby-Doo joke.
Right? Yeah.
So we know which you're complaining about.
So I know which
Right,
envelope
be more
not to
specific
open.
as to which joke you're complaining about throughout this hour. You might want to tag it at a timestamp.
That too.
We've said a lot of shit. We should probably close out, but remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com, type in Tag Me a Date, all one word, Tag Me a Date, swoosh it all together, no spaces. You'll find the Tag Me a Date channel with our archive of past shows, and you'll see the schedule for our next live shows. We go live every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. on the Eastern Dial. Time change is coming in another couple weeks. We'll let you fill you in on that if you're living in an area that's affected by that. And, of course, this is sponsored by TagMeADate.com, the War Report podcast brought to you by TagMeADate.com, the first and only dating site for wrestling fans with a roster of 20,000-plus wonderful superstars of both male and female persuasion. You can find yourself a tag team partner, or hell, find yourself a triple threat match. Go nuts. Do you, nigga. Go to TagMeADate.com for all of your dating needs. You can find the Tag Me a Date dating reality show as soon as Eric and Ryan find suitable matches. What I think we should do is, here's my thought. You each find 3 girls who can commit to come onto a podcast one week. We will do a dating game style show live on the podcast. You pick one. We bring that girl to a show for your first date.
That's fantastic.
Boom.
We need
I love it.
Dating theme, like the little game show theme.
Yes, we will get all the sound
Yeah.
effects. Don't you worry.
And then everybody does the closeout with the blow in the kiss.
The big kiss at the end, yeah.
Yes.
Shit, I follow Chuck
We
Woolery
do
on
it all.
Twitter. I'll see if he'll be into it.
But then we have to each write a question for the girl, like,
Right,
like
right,
Bachelorette number 1.
Bachelorette number 1, if I was a WWE ice cream bar, how would you eat me? Boom.
And not only that, once we get married, Steve is going to arrange for Howard Finkel to do the announcing at the weddings.
100%.
That's right. We can get Howard. We can get Howard, definitely.
That's
I
easy.
know that guy. We can get him. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, check out tagmeadate.com to find your tag team match or sign up for your own 30-man Royal Rumble, however you want to do it. But it is the only dating site for wrestling fans. Try and find this shit on OkCupid. I dare you, motherfucker. I dare you. No, I'm just kidding. Check out tagmeadate.com, subscribe to us on YouTube, and we'll be back next Tuesday with more shenanigans.